to Tasmania TV. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this awesome Gothic crown with horns, so stay tuned for the tutorial. Here is what you will need. Wire. I bought this off of a craft store here in Stockholm and it is soft and bendable, which makes it perfect for what we're going to do. You're also going to need some crafts clay. This is by a brand called Fimo. Again, purchased here in Sweden. I got it in black. And it is soft and easy to mold. We're going to use this to make the horns. And for decoration, you are going to need roses. These are black fabric roses that I got off of eBay. For decorating, you can also use tools. Some cool beaded chains like this, for instance. Or anything else that you can think of. I'm going to be using this one, which is a 3D printed bird skull that I've just attached one of these two, and because it is on one of these rather than being attached straight to the crown, I'll be able to move it around or take it out completely if I want to. You're also going to be needing various tools and tongs and things to handle the wire and all the items that we're going to be using. And then you might need some glue or any other kind of crafting materials. And you can use beads, studs, whatever you like to create your personal crown. We're actually going to start by working on the horns so that we can keep working with the rest of the crown while they harden in the oven. I already have this waxing paper protecting my table, so I don't need anything else. But you can also use a plate and work off of that if you want to. So this is about as much as I think I'll need. So I'm going to split that into two because we're making two horns. So first I'm just rolling this out. Into a little sausage guy. And then I want to make one of the edges thin out, while I leave the first one a little bit thicker. So we now have this. I'm just going to flatten the bottom. And then what I'm going to do is twist it. I think that's enough actually, so I'm just going to take that little tip off. Make the end pointy. And then set it in the shape that I want. And then set that aside in an oven-proof container. Alright, let's do the second horn. Both our horns are now ready and I'm going to set them in the oven for 30 minutes. Turning the oven on to 110 degrees Celsius, but just follow the instructions on the particular clay that you are using. Up next, we are going to start shaping the base of the crown. Now, if you just want a crown to place on top of your head, you don't have to use any elastic like this, but I want this crown to sort of be attached to my head to make sure that it's really on there, almost like a diadem. So for the back, like in the back of the neck, I'm going to put a little bit of elastic band to make sure that the crown really stays on my head. And that means that for the two ends of the crown, I need to make a little shape that will allow the band to attach. So my two ends will look something like this, so that I can feed the band through and then sew this shut, and this will keep in the back. I'm just going to basically try this on where I want it to go and then just bend it like that. Cut this off, and then I'm going to recreate that same ending we have here, and then I will have my basic shape, but you just follow your head and what you like. So on top of this, I am going to be layering the tips of the crown, if you will. I'm going to be doing 5 points, starting with the highest one in the middle, and then smaller again, going outwards. Alright, here we have the first one, and they will be attached to each other. So the next one coming up here, I'm going to intertwine these. Do the adjustments you need to find the shapes you want. But we now have the main pieces for the crown, and we can start making up the crown. I'm going to start by twisting it one lap around itself. So that is the first one in the middle, and then I'm going to do the side pieces. Again, go around on its own first. Just gonna go around twice, and we're gonna leave the edges like this. You'll find out why in a second. Doing the one on the other side. And then let's do the smallest pieces. And one way that you can protect yourself from any sharp edges is to buy tape that matches the color of the wire that you're using, black in my case, and just taping over that. And there you have it. It looks like total crap right now, but this is just the base of your crown. The next step is to attach some lace over the front of the crown. So it will go like this, and there are different ways to attach this to the crown depending on the material that you choose, obviously, but what I'm going to do is actually sew it on. Once the lace has been sewn all around, it's time to attach the roses. And the kind of roses that I'm using are very easy to attach because they have place for a stem, but they are delivered without a stem. So these sharp edges that we've left from before are now going to be housing the roses. And right here in the middle, where there is still a little bit of room, is where I'm gonna put this little bird skull. My two horns are done, and I actually decided that to attach them, I'm going to be using the two back tips of the crown. They are pretty low anyway, so you can't really see them, and I thought it'd just be easier to do it that way rather than adding even more metal to this. I'm just going to open up the loop and then put the first horn through, and then just tighten it again, and there it is. And the same thing for the other side. There we go, horns are on. The only thing that remains now is adding the tulle. Okay, so in order to add the tulle, I have removed the little bird skull, and I'm gonna be folding the tulle up sort of into a bouquet, like scrunching it up. Like this, and then I'm going to be feeding it through the middle front part right here, and then folding that over so that it ends up right here. To keep the tulle in place and to have something for the bird skull to attach to, I'm going to be using these kind of tiny elastics that I actually use for my dreads. So I'm just taking one of these little elastics. I'm going to use another one just in case the first one snaps. And then just kind of spread the tulle a little bit. And the very final part will be to attach the elastic band in the back, as I told you guys in the beginning of the video. But then the crown is done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!